Okay, so if you're publishing on the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, then chances are likely you've got a lot of questions when it comes to the use of KDP keywords. In fact, we're going to talk about making your book more discoverable with keywords in today's video, so make sure you stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale. I'm a best-selling author as well as a self-publishing advocate that wants to show you how to publish books that sell. Today's video is exclusively sponsored by the Romance Publishing Academy. The Romance Publishing Academy is a comprehensive start-to-finish program on romance publishing, oddly enough. And whether you're a beginner or even more intermediate, the Romance Publishing Academy will develop your author brand and bring you results that will make you sell more books. Isn't that important? But this is not just another video course, folks. They work with you two-on-one on a personalized basis to best ensure positive results. Their guarantee is they'll privately coach you until you recoup your investment in the program as a minimum monetary outcome. Book a no-pressure call and chat with them today. You're completely free to talk with them and see what tips they could offer you to help level up your self-publishing game. Whether you choose to work with Romance Publishing Academy or not, booking a call will help propel your self-publishing business forward. For the best first step in the process, download a copy of the Romance Secrets Playbook when you visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/romance. And right afterwards, you can be able to book your appointment with Romance Publishing Academy. Among the most popular videos here on this channel, I find questions come up a lot when it comes to keywords, especially through the Kindle Direct Publishing platform. So I thought we'd go ahead and clear up some ambiguity, especially going here into 2020. So we're going to start it out at the very basic when it comes to what are keywords. Well, keywords are essentially a descriptor of your specific book or your product. It essentially is a way to relate what it is your customer is looking for and what you have. I always tell people keywords are the bridge that connects your product to your customer and vice versa. Now, not to be confused, when you hear keyword, you think to yourself, well, that's just a singular term. It can be anywhere from 2, 3, or even more words in a complete phrase. So if you hear me say keywords, just immediately assume it's probably referring to a keyword phrase. According to KDP, they say this about keywords. To make your book easier to find on Amazon, you need keywords that accurately portray your book's content and reflect the words customers will use when they search, along with factors like sales history and Amazon bestsellers rank. Relevant keywords can boost your placement and search results on Amazon.com. Note the word relevancy. Now, we can probably go to the dictionary and find out real quick that it is meaning appropriate to or closely connected, but that's not the way it's determined on Amazon. They don't go just by, okay, well, that's what it's going to be relevant, so we're going to just send them on over towards your direction. You will have noticed in how they expressed how keywords work, there was 2 phrases in there. They said based on sales history and Amazon bestsellers rank, and that really places highly on your relevancy for a specific keyword that you want to place for. Now, there are a few other factors, and I've actually talked about that in a few other videos, and I'll leave some links inside the description down below. You can go take a look at those other videos when it comes to something like placing more relevancy on a specific keyword. So what are the important areas to use keywords when it comes to your KDP book? It's the metadata. Now, what the metadata means is it's actually the full product listing. This includes things like your title, your subtitle, your series name, your book description, the number of pages you have, if it's a print book, how big is it? This is so many factors when it comes into what is your metadata. Now, the theory is that if you put keywords in your title and subtitle, that you will actually get more weight in that. Now, again, that is just a theory. Unfortunately, there are some people that have taken it to extremes. Now, rest assured, the Amazon algorithm, which determines relevancy, is becoming a bit more sophisticated as the years push on. So I imagine that if you're trying to keyword stuff your titles, you're probably not going to win in the long game. So sure, you might be able to get a ton of sales right now, but in due time, you're going to find that A9 is going to go, oh, I see what you're doing, and we're just going to go ahead and suppress you. In fact, they recommend that you keep your titles right below 60 characters. That way it's not overwhelming and the customers just pass on your particular product. But for the rest of this video, I want to talk to you about the 7 keyword slots that we have in our KDP dashboard for each one of our ebooks and our print books. Now, to be clear, we have 7 keyword slots that you're allowed to have upwards of 50 characters per slot. How exactly do you use those? Well, let's go ahead and talk in order of importance. Let's talk about how you do not want to use keywords. Now, I'm going right over to KDP's playbook here, and I'm just going to read right from what they say inside their policy. This includes anything misrepresentative like the name of an author not associated with your book. This kind of information can create a confusing customer experience. KDP has a zero tolerance policy for metadata that is meant to advertise, promote, or mislead. This is huge. I've seen so many people, whether directly or indirectly violating this area here because they're putting in, say, for instance, another author's name or a trademarked brand name. And some people will get a slap on the wrist and say, don't do that again, fix it for us. And other people have actually had account suspensions and in some extreme instances, terminations when they've had, a number of infractions. The next one that you're going to want to avoid is going to be anything that's related to Amazon. Any Amazon program names like Kindle Unlimited, any kind of programs like KDP Select, Amazon, anything related to Amazon, you can't use it. And then the next one is going to be the F word, meaning free. They don't like you to put in free, and in fact, if you try to test the limits when it comes to free, they'll typically put your book to draft and tell you, hey, you have to fix this. Now, the instances that you probably can push back is if it is related or actually relevant to your particular title. So if you're doing, like, say, a dairy-free cookbook or a gluten-free cookbook, then you may kind of say to them, hey, this really is relevant to my particular title. There has been some people that have had to push back a couple of times before they finally said, oh, we get it, now we understand. So let's talk about the keywords you should avoid using. Now, again, I'm going to go over to KDP's playbook on this one because there's some of them they want you to avoid, and they're not necessarily going to shut down your account or suspend you for using these ones. They just recommend that there's better use of your 7 keyword slots in the 50 characters per slot. And these include information covered elsewhere in your book's metadata. So you don't want to repeat things like your title, your subtitle, or contributor names. There's just no sense in doing it because, again, the title and subtitle are searchable. So think of those as additional keyword slots outside of those 7 keywords. Subjective claims about quality like best ever or, ultimate, things like that. I've actually used things like that before, and they don't really ever shut down your account for that or anything else. I don't imagine them taking that away anytime soon, but they just recommend there's better use of those 7 keyword slots. Time-sensitive statements. Now, this one right here is just creating more work for yourself. If you're doing things like new, on sale, available now, those are going to probably get, pulled out some point or another. So no sense putting into your 7 keyword slots. And it's really not like too many people are going to be looking up some of those particular types of keywords. And this one actually gets me scratching my head. It's actually information common to most items in the category, like book or books or ebook or audiobook. These type of things, they say it's just a bit redundant because people are obviously going to look for it and it's going to pull up that category. Again, you're going to find that some keywords are relevant and people are actually searching for it. So I'm kind of on the fence on this one. Again, they're not going to suspend or terminate your account for using these type of words. They just say that you probably shouldn't use them. Spelling errors. Now, this one's a pretty interesting one because over on YouTube, they have an algorithm as Amazon does. And one of the things they actually recommend in what they call the tags is to put in some common misspellings to be pulled up in searches. Now, I don't imagine this is going to be any different when it comes to Amazon's algorithm. So in the event there's a high amount of search volume based on some spelling errors, it's something possibly worth pursuing, but I wouldn't go all in on your 7 keyword slots based on a misspelled word unless there's actual proof of concept. variance of spacing, punctuations, capitalization, and pluralization. This includes things like 80 gigabytes or 80 space gigabytes, computer or computers. So they're saying that you shouldn't just repeat the same word in there because they're gonna know that computer and computers is one and the same, so there's no need to go ahead and double down on that particular thing. Now, I used to lean heavily in favor of utilizing both of these, but they're saying, no, it's not necessary. And quotation marks and search terms. Now, when you put quotes around any kind of keyword phrases, that is what's called an exact match. So this means that anybody that is searching up that exact phrase right there will pull up your book. But this is going to be very limiting because the way that people find your book with those 7 keywords is through a broad keyword match. So that means that the Amazon algorithm is going to see about taking any number of the keywords inside your keyword phrase and matching it up to the customer. So in the event you're doing something, let's say a home workout plan for women, let's say someone's just typing up workout for women. It just goes ahead and it just pulls the 3 words that was relevant based on that search for that customer. When you put the quotations around it, the problem is it says, I want only the customers that are looking for this particular item. You're welcome to test that out if you want to, but again, you're kind of limiting yourself to the audience exposure you would normally get through a broad keyword match. Here's how you should use your keywords. Now, Amazon again suggests combine keywords in the most logical order. What they said was, there's a difference between science fiction military and military science fiction. But that kind of contradicts what they've actually said before in that, it's a broad keyword match. So that means that if someone's looking up this particular thing, it's going to be pulling those 3 keywords. So I'm not sure where they're going with this. Maybe this is something that's a little bit outdated that KDP hasn't updated lately. But either way, it's going to do a broad keyword match. It's going to pull from the keywords that are inside your keyword slot. They, of course, encourage you to use all 7 keyword slots. Now, don't ever leave a keyword slot empty. And I would say that you have up to 50 characters. Try to utilize it in the most tasteful way possible. They further recommend, and this is something that I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents in on, and that is when you're looking for some keywords, use their search engine to show you what customers are looking for. So what you'll do is go over into incognito mode on your browser. You're going to visit Amazon.com, go into the particular store that you want to, and then start to type in the query that you want. So let's just say, for instance, again, we're dealing with home workouts. We start to type in home workout. It's going to populate other searches that the audience is commonly looking for. And what you're going to want to do is pick the keywords that are most relevant to you. Amazon further suggests that you need to think like a reader. Imagine how you'd search if you were a customer. So just get yourself in the customer's shoes and think, okay, what am I going to be looking for to find my particular publication? So what's the best keyword practice? Now, first, right out the gate is, if you're going to use the 7 keyword slots, don't just put single term keyword phrases in there. So let's say, for instance, you're putting out a book on fitness and you just put fitness. Or you got a book on self-help and you put something in self-help. These single phrase keywords are just not going to cut the mustard. It's so stinking broad, and there are people that are dominating that space that probably already pretty much own that keyword. So this means that if someone's searching you up and you're using something like fitness, you're probably going to end up on the very last page of the search because you're probably not as relevant unless you're a very big fitness author. Use long tail keywords. Now, don't overthink this one. You're going to get a lot of industry experts that are going to tell you, if you find this much search volume and all of the ranks are this, this, and that. Let me make it dead simple for you. Don't overthink this one. Is it relevant to your publication? It's just that simple. Does this match up to your product? And will it make sense if a customer is looking for your book and they discover it with that specific keyword? There's also what's called keyword stemming. Now, this is where you take two similar keywords and you're able to kind of branch them together or kind of combine them with where it's a prefix and a suffix and you've got your root keyword. So I already kind of gave you one where I said workout plan, and then we added home workout plan, and then we added for women. So we have workout plan for women. We put the whole thing together in a home workout plan for women. And though it may not pull up on the auto suggest, you will find that each of the individual parts may pull up there. So maybe home workout plan pulls up, maybe workout plan pulls up, maybe workout plan for women pulls up. If all three of those pull up, put them all together because it makes sense and maybe it is relevant to your publication. Avoid stuffing a bunch of unnecessary words into there. You don't just want to fill the 50 character slots just with just any old keywords or just guessing your way through it. You want to make sure that it makes sense. Yeah, it's a good idea to fill the 50 characters if you can, but you don't want to go overboard just for the sake of putting a bunch of words in there, because all it's going to do is it's going to confuse the Amazon algorithm and it's not really going to be sure about who you are or what your book is, and there's just going to be a complete identity crisis. Good friend of mine, the Kindlepreneur himself, Dave Chesson, actually wrote a full article about those 7 keyword slots and how to best utilize those. And some of the tips that I've actually dispensed today really are in alignment with that. And he talks about how you can kind of put those 50 characters together in the most sensible fashion to where your book's being served to the right audience and, of course, is hopefully getting bought. Actually, you can take a look at that at dalelinks.com/7keywords. If any of this information was new to you, please do me a favor, drop inside the comments, #new to me, and while you're at it, just hit that like button to blue so that way I know that you enjoyed today's video. And while we're talking about keywords, heck, I actually have a full video about Dave Chesson's Publisher Rocket. And I talked about the Publisher Rocket keywords, what you need to know about this research tool. I'm gonna see you in the next video.